Hi guys, in this video I will be talking about what I find to be one of the most interesting possibilities in the Hunter x Hunterverse. A theory that one of, if not the most evil and dangerous antagonist of the series, is not just a future tease, but someone we are all well acquainted with. I believe, I'd say with about 70% certainty, that MELEORON is Gyro. Now this may sound crazy at first, but bear with me. I have not one, not two, but 5 pieces of evidence to back this up. And by the time you've heard my 5 pieces of evidence, you may actually find that it makes little to no sense for MELEORON not to be Gyro. And if it turns out further down the line, if and when the manga is released, that Gyro is in fact a different Chimera Ant after all, then, well, we should all band together to email Togashi, letting him know that he missed a massive opportunity, and make a petition for him to rewrite the new manga editions to accommodate for this brilliant alternative. Without further ado, let's get into the 5 pieces of this theory. The foster father. Shortly after teaming up with Gon, MELEORON explains that he wishes to defeat Meruem out of vengeance. Vengeance for killing Peggy. He then says that Peggy was his foster father in his previous life. A man who was into education and always carried around thick books. Okay, but so what? Well, why a foster father? That's a very specific kind of relative for a character with no backstory. But Gyro, if you recall, killed his own father as a child. It would make sense then that a man of education adopted Gyro, making him into the undoubtedly effective leader that he is. Peggy's existence is definitely sus. Nen user. Episode 81. Ramot is punched by Gon's Jajunken, making him the first Chimera Ant to have his Nen enabled. By this point, however, MELEORON is already capable of invisibility.
But he's a chameleon and all chameleons can do that.
MELEORON could turn his clothes and hair invisible, not just his scales.
That's because invisible clothes would make for unnecessary complications.
Why give him clothes at all? In fact, MELEORON is one of the few Chimera Ants that does don an outfit in the first place. Natural invisibility powers, very sus. Gyro / Gyro. MELEORON's apparent human name was stated to be Gyro. This alone carries multiple clues to his identity. Firstly, whilst in English the words jail and gyro appear totally different, one being a prison and the other a navigation device or that swivelly thing that lets BMXs spin their handlebars without tangling their brake cables, in Japanese they seem dubiously similar in spelling. Je-i-lu, ja-i-lo. What's more, Gyro being an ant who kept all of his human memories, or perhaps more accurately regained them after witnessing Peggy's murder, would want to keep his human name a secret. Therefore, coming up with a pseudonym makes perfect sense, and one would expect said pseudonym to be not entirely random, but somehow carry symbolic meaning to help MELEORON remember his former identity as Gyro. As a child, Gyro slept on a bunk bed, silently and still in fear of bothering his father with the creaking, and he was only allowed to pee twice a day, and even then only before 9 PM. Sounds like a jail, does it not? Jail. Super sus. Perfect plan. Perhaps the biggest and most concrete clue thus far. Not moving on from the topic of bothering his father, Gyro was further taught, or instructed, by his father not to make trouble for others. Nen abilities tend to reflect the emotions, personalities and beliefs of their users, such as the whimsical and deceitful nature of Hisoka's bungee gum and texture surprise respectively, or Bandit's Secret, a book conjured by Crollo, a man who identifies himself as the head of the spider rather than an individual person, having no identity and therefore no powers of his own. This concept is further explored by Crollo in the manga. However, similarly to these two characters, and, well, pretty much every other character in the show, MELEORON's power also seems to reflect his character. His power to seemingly erase his existence completely captures his entire upbringing and lack of self-esteem. In his own words, his greatest realization was, "The universe doesn't give a damn about me." What better way to not cause trouble for others than to make it so that even if people touch you or look at you, they cannot feel nor see you? Seemingly erasing his existence, extremely sus. Delayed debut. As weird of a writer as Togashi is, even for him it seems a stretch to write a beautiful 7 minutes of backstory only to then delay Gyro's Chimera appearance for what is so far looking to be over 100 episodes of content. It makes far more sense that when Gyro is, quote, revealed, it turns out that he had in fact been on screen all along, deceiving the viewers just as the chameleon deceives its prey. Gyro is portrayed to be as close to evil as anyone else in the series, rivaled perhaps only by the disgusting Serednik, and as they say in Eastern mysticism, the purer evil is that which destroys with an innocent smile, not that which roars and is honest about its true nature. If MELEORON really is Gyro, he is incredibly dangerous, unnervingly deceptive, and his power is near unstoppable if used correctly or in conjunction with other formidable Nen users. Considering the time of Hunter x Hunter's birth and Togashi's connection to Kishimoto, perhaps he took inspiration from Toby in the creation of Jail. It wouldn't be the first time the two seem to share ideas. Scarlet Eyes, anyone? Gyro's missing arc. Whoop-de-dooper, loop-de-looper, alley-ooper, sus. Now, all of this would only be possible if MELEORON were born before Yunju fed Gyro to the Chimera Ant Queen. Technically speaking, MELEORON is revealed to exist before Yunju enters Gyro's NGL base. However, MELEORON is suspiciously not shown in the series up until this point. He is a, quote, new squadron leader, and he is even more suspiciously introduced during the same episode that Yunju raids Gyro's base. Togashi has, however, left the timeline of that episode's scenes ambiguous. It's entirely possible that he has concealed MELEORON's identity behind a Memento-inspired sequencing of events.
But what? A mangaka watching Western movies? No way!
Actually, Togashi is a very well researched man. This is clear through Hunter x Hunter alone, without even considering his other works. Meruem and Komugi's story is as though it were taken straight from an Arabian Nights book. The Phantom Troop referenced Judas. Killua explains the detailed workings of a game of darts. Then there's the antiques trader and appraiser teaching Gon and Killua about doctoring methods. The entirety of Hunter x Hunter appears to be littered with Freudian philosophies and inspired by Western works. It would be of no surprise at all that a talented writer like Togashi could cleverly tell two perspectives of a story side by side, offsetting the order of events just enough to conceal a character's true identity. And there you have it, the MELEORON is Gyro theory. Thank you for watching the whole video. Please subscribe if you've made it this far, leave a like and a comment and check out my other uploads. I appreciate any and all of your support. And such thusly thy gaze upon a massive fan base. Arigato.